Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Ladies Who List Atlanta Season 1 Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Now y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we see Kira and B. Simone showing up to look for a potential spot. Baby girl, how did I do, B? Child, I've been working on that. Baby girl. Okay. So she's showing her a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo listed at $548,000. And it's 1,400 square feet. I'm going to stop complaining about Houston, Texas. Oh, yes, I am. Because baby, that looks like the apartment that I'm leasing right now. $548,000. You let Greg borrow $10,000. Shout out to Nene Leaks. But for real though, okay, I was like, girl, not this, honey, for $548. It's not giving the judge that should be given, honey. I don't care how big the windows are. So she was like, she really wants something fly. So she's showing her the hottest condos in the ATL. So she shows her this beautiful condo with these gorgeous windows. And she said, I met B. Simone in 2015 and she used to do my hair. And actually, that's how we met. She said at the time I was working at the mattress firm and neither of us were who we are today. And let me just tell you this. When she was saying that, I was visualizing where I am today and where I want to be 5 years from now. And I love seeing this. Like, it's giving your life can change suddenly. That's what it was giving me. Honey, I loved everything about it. It's giving motivation. Shout out to Kelly Rowland. Moving forward. She said, she has to have the best of the best. So, honey, she knew who to call. So B. Simone looking around and whatnot. And she said that her and that ex were looking for a home. But then she broke up with him the day after they started looking for that home. And she needs something practical because, she's always on the go and she don't want to be cutting no grass. Okay, so it's got to be condo, penthouse in the sky. Moving forward. So she's showing her around the condo and whatnot. And child, they trying to figure out sunrise and sunset. So B. Simone was like, does the sun set in the east and rise in the west, or set in the west and rise in the east? So, child, they didn't know. Okay, and baby, the two of them need a compass. They cannot figure it out. North from south, east from west. But honey, don't feel bad because I'm not good with directions either. I am not good with the directions of it all. I'm going to use some maps. I'm going to use some GPS if I don't do nothing else. When in doubt, ask Siri. So Crystal was like, Siri, can you help us? Honey, Siri was like, girl, I don't know. So B. Simone said, look, I love she's like, realtor, help me out. What's that? She was like, what, this? Girl, a curtain? So then she looked at the wall. She said, the concrete? Yes, it's artsy. Girl, you need a break from social media because I'm not about to play with you. You do not have to be in real estate to know that that's an exposed concrete wall. Girl, I'm not about to play with you. So then they look at the closet, honey, but it wasn't much of one, child, the size of a sardine can. But they looked at that and they looked at the restroom, which was the size of a shoebox as well. So it's a no. Like, it has the windows and everything, and she loves that, but the other two things were just a little bit too small. So Kira was like, you know what? You don't always get it right the first time you do it. So we're just going to keep on looking, honey, and let's get into it if we're going to get into it. Moving forward. In the next scene, we get a glimpse of a chef making some mimosas, and we see Kiana. She's on the gram and she's doing a little video. So she tells us in her confessional that real estate has changed her life because being poor, she used to go to school and see kids like complaining about what they didn't get for lunch and what they did get for lunch. Meanwhile, they couldn't even afford a lunch box. Like, they would go without lights for 30 days sometimes, and other people didn't realize that. Well, let me just stop and say this. First of all, baby, you ain't going without lights no more. The way that house is looking, it's giving resort. It's giving Airbnb when I want to be bougie. Honey, I love it. Like, it's giving the judge it should be given. Their house was beautiful. You know what Kiana and her husband remind me of? Y'all know the girl from Bell Collective who was married to the older guy? I cannot remember her name. And their house was really beautiful and it looked misplaced because it was in the middle of Mississippi. Y'all comment down below and tell me what's the girl's name. I cannot remember to save my life, but that's what Kiana is giving me. She's giving me Bell Collective. So anywho, she said she basically takes care of the entire family. She said a lot of people depend on her to be great. So she chooses that over protecting her personal feelings about things that she wants to take care of. But she's realizing, herself that she needs more of that. She has to take care of Kiana. Well, you're doing great. I just want to give you that little pat on the back. And yes, self-care is very important. I'm trying to teach myself that, but I'm nowhere near where you are or where I want to be. So I just got to keep hustling. And, and once I get to where I want to be, then I'll start incorporating some self-care. Now, self-care for me is sitting in the middle of my bed with some good old Mexican food, watching a show that I don't have to review. Moving forward. So she goes in to have breakfast with her husband, Anthony, right? Baby, the people in Atlanta going to employ a black personal chef if they don't do nothing else. Honey, I love to see it. Baby, they going to add them a personal chef. Do you hear me? So she tells us that she's been married for 8 years. They were great friends. And, they were friends for 13 years and they've been married for 8. She says she can bear her entire soul with her husband. He's taking out her weave, her braids, and she can be 100% herself, and he loves her for her. He loves Kiana. Outside of all the glitz and glams and the cameras and the selling of the homes, he likes her. That's the real deal when your spouse likes you. Because, you can love somebody. Girl, I love you. Child, people be telling strangers they love them. Child, you do not love that person. You do not know that person. But when your mate likes you, that's something totally different, honey. That's the judge. Well, I just want to say this, girl, make sure to keep it under lock and key, because you know how the vultures come out when they know you got a good man. Okay, and it get rocky. And if it gets rocky, let the show go, child. That's all I'm going to say on that. Moving forward. So she's telling him about Crystal's B-Day party and how Robyn was there. She's like, you remember? I tried to get her to hold my license, and she tried to charge me $500 per contract. And baby, she chomping down on that food, smacking mouthful and still talking. I said, Kiana, wait until you swallow, honey. Just wait 1 minute. 1 minute. So, baby, she absolutely right, honey, because her husband was all enthralled, honey. Mouthful of food and all. He was like, mm-hmm. So her husband said, well, I consider her a friend. I thought she would have done it just off the strength of that. But for free, y'all. I'm asking a very serious question. Do you feel like that should have been done for free? Me personally, I feel like this. Okay, we're friends, or you're an associate of my husband's. If I call you and ask you to hold my 26 contracts for 30 days, it is a business at the end of the day. I don't see nothing wrong with a small fee. Now, $500 was maybe too much. I'm thinking like $150 or something. But it seems like she was trying to hit a lick instead of being reasonable and saying, look, girl, I'm gonna hold your contracts, but business is business. So, like $150 per contract. Is that cool with you? It's a way to approach it. So she's like, no, she was your friend. And if she was your friend, she wouldn't have tried to charge me $500. He said, I look at it as a business decision, more or less, but that's on y'all. I looked at it as a business too. That's all I'm saying. Moving forward. So Kiana said, when I reached out to her, I just knew that it was going to be easy. I just knew she was going to be like, girl, let me hold this for you. But then she charged me $500. And I felt like it was her way of coming up on $13,000 real quick. It was. She was trying to hit a lick. She should have asked for a more reasonable amount. If you're going to make it about business, then ask for an amount that makes sense. In the next scene, so they still sitting at the table. And she's telling him about the dinner that Crystal presented her with. He's like, that's not going to work. Kiana said Robyn has her own brokerage and I never see anyone under her. So she moving real slow. I know I'm just starting, but it's giving tortoise. Okay. It's giving tortoise. He said, well, maybe she needs the money. So Kiana, on the other hand, is like, I don't care if she needs the money. The answer is going to be no for me. Okay. Even when she asks me, it's going to be no. Even if it's a great idea, it's going to be no. Well, girl, don't even go, child. Just send her an email and tell her, I don't with you. Shout out to Big Sean. Child, just tell her you don't want to go. In the next scene, Kira is telling us about her upbringing and how her grandmother was her only stable home. Okay, pause. This is just a side note. I love the fact that before the last 10 minutes of the episode, before they got into the foolishness, I loved the fact that we got a backstory from each and every one of them. I love that. She said they lived in a double wide on a lot of land, and her ex bought a home, and it was her dream home. It had everything that she wanted. So then she tells the story about how she was at a bachelorette party in Miami. Her boyfriend at the time was in New York. It was like 8 a.m. and she had some text messages and some missed calls from her neighbor next door asking if she was home. And she's like, no, I'm in Miami. So then she called her back and she told her that her house had burned down. Oh, child, thank God she wasn't home. She said, I just fell to my knees and I just started crying. It is devastating, but you had insurance, I'm sure. Okay. And the most important thing is neither of you were home. Like, God is good, baby. Like, I know it's hard to think that in the moment because you're like, all my things, everything's gone, all of my memories, pictures, family photos, those types of things, those cannot be replaced. So I do understand when people just get devastated. Like, I mean, all of my memories just completely burned to the ground. I can understand that. But those material things, those can be replaced. But you know what cannot be replaced? Your life. So, baby, thank your lucky stars for that. She said they weren't even there a month and they lost everything. She said not long after that, the relationship fell apart, but she still has to work. So she has to find a way to work in a world full of chaos. Smiling, putting on a good front, and pushing herself out there. And y'all understand that. I know all about putting up a brave face. But girl, you got this. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tiffany is at home getting some work done, and her son DJ asked her to take him to drive. She's like, I'm trying to work. Just give me a minute. Okay, just ask your daddy. Like, go ask your daddy. Honey, it's something about the mamas. Honey, the daddy can be right there, but it's just something about a mama. So she said, I'm just trying to basically be a superwoman, and I started having panic attacks and anxiety because I wasn't taking care of me. And she was trying to be everything to everybody. I wish I could utter the words, go ask your daddy. I'm the dad, the mom, the coach, the prayer partner, the friend, all of that. And it is tough. It is tough. And she's right. It is debilitating at times because it's like, oh my gosh, if he asks me for one more thing, if I have to get up one more time, why can't I sit in silence for 10 minutes? Like, sometimes it's just too much. The reason I like this show so far over Selling Tampa is that they're letting us in on their lives. Okay, Selling Tampa, we didn't know nothing about those girls. They showed up to that office, Sherelle twirled in and out. I'm not trying to pit the two shows against each other because they're both showcasing beautiful black women. Let's get into it if we're going to get into it. I love it all. But I can relate more so to this show because I relate to Kiana, not wanting to be where you were years ago and working at Mattress Firm and now you popping. I relate to Tiffany, having anxiety, not knowing if things are going to happen to you when you leave home. I suffer from the same things, having to be the mom and do everything and be everything to all people. I relate to that. So I feel like they're so much more relatable. So she talks about her having such anxiety that she was fearful that when she left home that she wouldn't make it back. But her support system and her therapist was there and they helped to pull her out. Her mom came up, like everybody was just in her corner. And I cried when she said that. Because when the panini first happened, I had severe anxiety. Severe. Like, my son has severe asthma. I was trying to keep us safe. Like, the world was drastically changing. There was so much unknown about this virus. I was afraid that if I even stepped foot outside my home, I was going to end up in the hospital because the news was running me crazy. I had to stop watching the news. Like, it was just too much. It was just me and him. And those of you that have been subscribed to me since day 1 or day 15, child, whenever you subscribed, y'all know my backstory and you know the reason why I do my channel the way that I do. And it was just too much for me. Like, I ended up in the hospital thinking I was having a heart attack. Like, it was that bad. But anyway, child, it's just a side note. I'm so happy that she was able to pull herself out with the help of her family because that's truly a blessing. I just learned to cope, and this channel helps me a lot. And, I just have to take time to sometimes just take a deep breath and exhale. Because, honey, at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Moving forward. So she finally gives in and takes her son to drive. She like me, child. I'm going to be nervous and I'm going to be hollering. She was like, I might get a little loud, but he know his mama get a little loud. I know that's right, girl. I'm sending my baby straight to driving school, honey. I ain't gonna even pretend like I'm about to get on the road with him. Because he already don't listen. And he a Taurus too, so he's stubborn. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. Driving school it is. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tiffany and her husband, they're celebrating 13 years of marriage. So she's celebrating with Tiana and her husband. So once they get to the dinner, they start talking about Tiffany being friendly and playing politics. But Tiana knows that she got her back. So she like, she friendly and whatnot. She everybody friend. But I know she got my back. She said, speaking of friendly, what about the opening? So Tiana said, the house was gorgeous. The ladies had some petty banter, but overall, I thought it was good. So Tiffany fills the men in on Robyn, whom she doesn't know, that's having a dinner, and Crystal, the other closing attorney, and how they're going to be there. So Tiffany said, me and Crystal have some competition. I'm glad you admitted it, Tiffany, okay? Because Crystal was acting like last episode that y'all wasn't in competition. She's like, I really don't trust everybody. And actually, her and Crystal have been knowing each other for years. She said after she had baby number 3, she emailed her. Crystal emailed Tiffany, and she was on some, hey girl, like, I know you just gave birth, but let me take your clients for you so you can just focus on being a mom. It wasn't a genuine thing. It was more so her wanting to get her business. So basically it was one of those, let me have your work while you're out. See, I knew it was something about Crystal that just wasn't right, honey. Y'all gonna start listening to me. I told you, it's giving me something. It's really giving me something. I don't know what it is. She said, I didn't go to school all those years to work for somebody else, so no. I know that's right. Crystal knows Tiffany is competition. That's why she told Robyn what she told Robyn in that office. He said, look, I think y'all can just kick it. She said, I'm going to be girl power. I'm going to be in that thing. Tiana's husband said, well, they're going to be so self-absorbed that they would have to think of someone else to actually harm you. I know that's right, Tiana's husband, honey. In the next scene, we catch up with Robyn. Baby, Robyn gonna wear a scarf choker around that neck if she don't do nothing else. And at first, I thought it was one of those face guards. You know, the ones they pull up. But child, she got on one to match this purple dress. Child, it is a mess. So she tells us, I love real estate. I've been in the game for 20 years. And she goes to meet a client. His name is Frank. Frank the bank. No, I'm just kidding. I gave him that name. She said, she's not the same Robyn that she was when she got to ATL in 2006. She had 2 kids and she chose to bring them along on this journey, and she chose to do it in a space that nobody knew her so that she could start again. And she said everybody sees this Robyn, but they don't understand what it took to get here. She said there are some parts of her 16-year-old self that still live inside of her, and that's very good of you to admit. She said that girl was abused emotionally, verbally, physically, but when you do business with me, you're going to get the most unforgettable experience because I love real estate and it loves me back. Listen, I know Robyn is a bit much, but I think she's misunderstood. Like, none of us are perfect. Like, let's just keep it real. Everybody had a little attitude every now and again. But she's working to be better. Like, nobody wants to be constantly reminded of their past, which is probably why she picked up and moved to an entirely different city and state. Like, when she shows otherwise, then I'm going to be sure to call her out. But I'm not giving up on her just yet. Okay? I'm going to still give her a little bit of grace. Moving forward. So she's showing her client around this condo. It's $180,000. It's a studio apartment, 860 square feet. Okay. That ain't going to work. I mean, it would make a great Airbnb, though. I mean, you got to use your mind. It ain't always about, the zhuzh. You can invest in that property, hold it, and then make some money off of it later. So she's telling him that Atlanta is still building. So if he buys and holds for a few years, he can sell for more, and that's how you create generational wealth. Sign me up for the Healy building so I can make it an Airbnb or, or something like that. It ain't always got to be over the top. It's about making your money work for you. She says she works with a lot of first-time home buyers, and that building is a stepping stone till they start a family or they get married. One thing I appreciate is they're showing every level of real estate, from condos to $500,000 homes to $1 million homes, which is what Kiana was showing Crystal. It's all about the different facets of real estate. I like that. I really do. And I like the fact that Robyn works with first-time home buyers. That process is very scary. Okay, because I'm going through it right now, trying to figure out how to get into it as I get into it. And you really want someone that's going to work with you, that's going to know your fears, that's going to help calm your fears, because that's one of the biggest purchases that you will ever make. So you want to make sure you get it right. So having someone that actually enjoys what they do, that's the most important part. Because if you just get a realtor, honey, that's trying to get that commission, child, you will definitely see the difference. So, baby, she's trying to convince Frank. But quiet as it's kept, he liked the view of Robyn better than the view from that building, honey. And that's that on that. Moving forward. So she's standing over there trying to convince him. She told us that she's done over 50 transactions in that building, and it only has 106 units. Well, child, it all adds up, honey. Make them coins, girl. Make that money, honey. So she's like, so you in? You want it, Frank? He's like, yeah. Robyn, Frank thinks you're pretty, okay? That's what it is. She was like, okay, so let's go put in an offer. We gonna put in one tonight? He said, yeah. Baby, Robyn did this little bounce. Like, yay, Frank. All right now, Robyn. Don't get Frank excited. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tiana is up for an award with the Modern Luxury Interiors magazine. She said it's a well-known national publication. She's like, I have Kira, and of course, Tiffany is with her. So the lady is giving out the award, right? The first one that she announces is the best social media campaign. And the winner is Tiana Harrison. Okay, girl, finger snaps for you. Okay. So she sachets on up there, child, with her cute bob to receive her award. I'm like, girl, not the short leather skirt for the award of it all. But they was dressed like they was going to the house as well. So it's fine. Moving forward. You look so cute. That's the friend group I want. The winner's circle. Kira said, well, speaking of this lovely event, how y'all feeling about Robyn's upcoming dinner? So Tiana said, do you know what this is all about? Kira said, no, I don't know her. Like, Tiffany said, I'm confused. I'm confused as to why she wants me there, but I'll just go, honey, if these two gonna be there, because I just want to be nosy. So Tiffany said, I've never met Robyn, but I connected her to Condo. So Tiana said, she sells like downtown market, right? Which is not many people's niche. So Kira said, yeah, she sells at the Healy a lot, and that's a tough building to sell in. Listen, my hustle is a lot like Robyn's. I'm selling wherever you buying. Okay, everyone doesn't start out able to purchase $500,000 plus. First time home buyers matter as well. Like, they need love too. I'm just saying. Tiana said, well, I don't think that's the only building she sells in. Baby, this is some bull. Okay, do y'all hear me? Kira said, well, I know when I followed her, they said, you don't follow her anymore? Baby, she sipped that champagne. She was like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Girl, don't bring it up if you ain't gonna talk about it. Now, let's get into it. She said her and Crystal are both good friends, and they both stopped following her at the same time. Sounds like some pettiness to me. Social media can really get some mess started. That unfollow says a lot. Like, sometimes people unfollow you, and you don't even know what you did to them. You're like, now what I do to you? Now how did I get into it? Like, why you mad at me? In the next scene, Crystal pulls up with them legs out, glistening. Okay, legs. She got some nice legs on her, I have to say. I'm like, okay, girl. So she was like, I'm really nervous, but I'm cautiously optimistic about tonight. So Kiana gets out and she's like, I'm feeling like, why am I here? Like, you didn't want to help me, so why should I help you? Kira said, I was shocked when I was invited because I've never met Robyn. And she unfollowed me on IG in like about a year ago. So I don't know if this is going to work. Tiana is like, I'm feeling vibrant. I'm walking in like black girl magic. Oh, Tiana, you're the only one, child. Everyone nervous and suspicious. That's suspicious. Baby, they don't know what's going on. So Tiffany said, I'm feeling strange because I don't know Robyn, but I'm open to hear what she has to say. You'll be fine, child. Get some of Tiana's black girl magic. Moving forward. So Robyn gets there. And she's like, I wanted to cancel this because I didn't know if I really wanted to even share it. So she walks in. Okay, she walks in positive. She's smiling, wearing her pink. And that always puts people in a good mood. Like, who can be mad around you wearing pink? Like, if you got on pink, you got to smile. So when she walks in, everybody gets up to hug her. And I'm like, okay, that's a good start. Everything's looking good. It's looking on the up and up. So she's like, I just want to thank Crystal for bringing us together. Now, while y'all all on Robyn, I want you to peep how Robyn made sure to thank Crystal. She didn't come in like, I'm so happy I got you all here today. No, she came in like, look, my friend held me down. I asked her to coordinate this, and that's exactly what she did. So I would like to thank her for bringing us together. So they're like, is it you or is it Crystal? She said, it's me, but Crystal made all the calls and she really made all this happen. So Robyn is like, what I was thinking about is how I could present this. Here go Crystal. This is her first time interrupting. She's like, so what do you want from everyone? Just like, what do you want? Now, why are you A, cutting her off, and B, acting like you don't know what she wants when clearly you know what she wants? Girl. So Kiana is like, what is it? Yes, like what is this? She said, I haven't thought things all the way through and I could use some suggestions, but I think instead of you working for that person and you working for that person and y'all working for them, we can create a signature series of all of us. Kiana, luxury market, you with the celebrities. And she's just pitching the idea, right? So she's pitching this idea and how they can take every facet in every county basically in Atlanta. So Kiana said, so you want us all to come together to create one big brokerage? And Crystal was like, kind of like a marriage. She said, well, first I need to know if y'all are on board. So Tiana told her, just write it out for me and make it plain. Honey, I'm in that thing. I'm in there like swimwear. She feels like it'll be a great collaboration. Tiana is so positive. Oh, pretty girl. She is so positive. So Kiana said, for me. Child, this is where it takes a turn. Kiana said, for me, I've collaborated with plenty of people and you have to have a level of respect. She said, we have some unfinished business because what you did when I reached out to you to hold my contracts for me, like I didn't really like that. Like I'm just gonna have to keep it real. So Kiana tells Robyn like she didn't appreciate how Robyn did her when she needed her. She said, I hope you see me in a better light though. She said, no, that was the last light we had. So Robyn said, so the lights are out and they're not coming back on? Child, not the door is closed. Shout out to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Kiana said, no, I'm saying that was the last light we had. Girl, tomato or tomato. Honey, what are we talking about right here? So Kiana said, we haven't talked about it since. And it's like you want to act like it didn't happen and like it's not a big deal. But unlike you, I was building at the time. She said, wait a minute. Did you say unlike me? She said, yes, because you had already had an established brokerage. So then Crystal interjects, lady, please, it's not your turn. Please be quiet. Robyn said, so you were upset about that from over a year ago and you held on to that grudge for this long? Like, why didn't you say anything? So then Crystal pipes up again. She's like, it's okay to still be uncomfortable about something. Crystal, what is your deal, honey? Do you need a moment? We've seen your legs. It's fine. Please pipe down and sit back. Okay? Because then when people start directing things towards you, you want to act like, oh my God, why are you saying? Be quiet. Okay? Let them hash this out. So Kiana said, I'm just, uncomfortable. Like, how can you expect us to do business with you when you literally on me? So she said, that's why I'm sorry. Like, can we just get past that now? Okay, so much is wrong with this scene. First things first. Crystal, please allow them to talk. Number 2, why not, if I were Kiana, I would say, I hear your proposal, but you and I need to talk one-on-one first. I'm not exactly sold. That's it. That's all. Because that was just between y'all. Everybody else didn't need to know. Because when you do things like this and you bring it out into the forefront in front of other people, it helps them to formulate an opinion based on how you're feeling. It might not be facts for them in their relationship, but because you state it like that, it's like, okay, I don't like her either, girl. Like, some things we just need to wait and talk by ourselves. Also, why not just let her know at the time, like the price was a problem, or look, I'm just starting. I need you to hold this for me because you're in business as well. So you know how it goes. Me personally, I never expect anything from anybody for free. Number 3, Robyn, I understand you are working on your relationship. Honey, I don't know if I started with alphabets or numbers, honey, but it's going to be A, B, and 3. So anywho, I don't know. I understand you're working on your relationship with the other women, but I apologize so we can do business isn't a sincere apology. It's dismissive. It's like, okay, girl, I apologize. I want you to do this business with me so we good. No. Okay. Again, there needs to be a separate conversation and you need to lead with sincerity and tell her exactly what your intentions were. Girl, this is the reason why I did this. So Robyn is like, I'll take you to dinner. I'll do whatever. She's like, I don't need your dinner. So Robyn said, can I just say that my mental state was all over the place and I was going through some tough situations. I didn't have room to think about anybody else's feelings because I couldn't feel. So Kiana said, no, don't deflect. I don't think she was deflecting. Like, this was during the most uncertain time the world has ever faced. A lot of people's mental states was all over the place. Like, why do y'all keep doing that? If you don't like Robyn, just decline the offer and move on. Like, but you never really know what someone is facing. So Robyn said, no, don't discount where I've been. I thought that was insensitive. Okay, but she gonna redeem herself in a few minutes. So here we go. Moving forward. Well, she's explaining it to you now, so maybe you should be a little bit more receptive. Kiana doesn't feel like the apology was genuine. The apology was not genuine. Her mental state, I believe her when she says that. Tiffany said, well, from what I gather, Robyn wasn't all the way mentally there and you supported me through some struggles. You remember that? Like, I'm not trying to get in between y'all because this is a private conversation that y'all need to have to discuss it because in that state, you're not mentally there. And Robyn was like, yes, you don't want to wash up. You don't want to answer the phone, even if it is money on the table. And like I told y'all, I've been there, sadly. It is a dark place. I don't personally peg Robyn as someone that makes excuses. Like, I feel like she's a straight shooter. If she wanted to charge you for it, she would have said, well, girl, I needed the money, or girl, it's just business. I feel like she would have said that. So I thought that it was beautiful for Tiffany to step in and try to give some clarity because it made Kiana see things differently. So Kiana said, you know what? I understand that. Let's just table it. And I thought that was very mature of Kiana. Good job, Kiana. Moving forward. She said, I'm willing to talk about it privately. So then Kira goes, speaking of trust, I don't know what happened, but you both unfollowed me. So I'm just curious, like, what was it? Like, if I'm just curious as to if it was something. Now, Robyn, you lied right here. Okay, you lied. She said, the algorithm is so disgusting. Girl, the algorithm don't got nothing to do with unfollowing somebody. You have to literally go into your followers or the people that you're following and unfollow them. Girl, goodbye. Child, I'm done. So Kira is like, it was intentional. She said, it's not that big of a deal to me. Kira, you sure? Honey, it seems like it's that big of a deal to you. You see Crystal didn't pipe up then. Crystal, where's your interjection? She said the both of you unfollowed her. So she said, what did I do? Robyn said, you didn't do anything. So Kira feels like a lot of older agents. She said, because I'm young. She said, older? Crystal over there cackling, honey. I'm talking about falling out. Talking about, pick up your glass, Tiana. Let's get into it. Honey, she over there cackling. Talking about older. Oh my God. Why you over there laughing at your best friend being called old? Why are you laughing like a hyena when she was referring to you as well? When she said both of you unfollowed her. She said, no, it's not a bad thing. So then Robyn stands up, honey, and she's like, no, it's not. Okay, body. Okay, outfit. So Robyn said, maybe it's more seasoned or more experienced, maybe a veteran, maybe not older. She goes, oh yes, it's older. Okay, no need to take a dig at her age. Okay, this is the thing. Kira was confused on how you follow me 1 second, unfollow me the next, then you want to sit down and do business. I understand that. Because it's confusing. Like, girl, clearly you don't mess with me like that. Because Instagram is a big deal to some people. Not to me. I really could care less. But to some people it is. It's the generational gap. Like Robyn's age group could care less. Honey, they straight dial up. When you used to get them AOL packets out of the grocery store, honey, for free. Robyn don't really care about Instagram. She probably posts something once every blue moon. So to her, it's no big deal. But to her age group, it's like, if you unfollow me, it's like somebody slapping you or spitting in your face. But just say it upset you, Kira. Just say, girl, I don't know if I just really mess with you like that. Got my followers looking shady? And going down when it should be going up and stuck. Honey, I didn't like that. But no need to call out the age. Honey, let's leave the age out of it, okay? And no need to say, well, I'm young. Because it's always room to learn from somebody. Now, do people feel threatened when younger people start out in a field? Some of them do. They get jealous. They see the young pretty girl. They see your pictures and they see how you're out there on the scene moving and shaking and getting the bag and making things happen. I understand that part as well. But let's not do the whole age thing. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But Robyn, you did lie about that algorithm, honey. She did something on her page. I don't know what it was. She did something that made you unfollow her, and that's that on that. So Robyn said, well, I closed 167 properties. She said, in how long? She said, it doesn't matter. I started in 2012. Baby Kira sat up and looked at her. She said, okay, I graduated high school then. It's giving childish. It's giving childish, child. Robyn said, I'm not about to argue with no babies. I got kids her age. Robyn, she's an adult. Okay, at the end of the day, she ain't nobody's baby. She's a grown adult. Y'all just leave the ages out of it. Leave it all the way out of it, honey, because y'all starting to get on my nerves. Like, because she's the plug on the upcoming social media influencers and the entertainers, which that's part of it that you need. And everyone is going to be older sometime. So we don't need to be hitting on that. I just feel like Tiana. Everybody's going to be integral in this, but y'all reminding each other of how young and how old you are. No, ma'am. Honey, with age comes wisdom, and being around a younger person keeps you young and keeps your mind sharp. So y'all just stop it, please. Moving forward. So Kira said, but you were in my DMs though. Oh, you're so beautiful. Heart eyes. Oh my God. And when she was explaining it, child, not Kiana looking at her hand like it was the actual phone. When I tell y'all I hollered, Kiana was looking at Kira's hand like, and girl, then what else she said in them DMs? It's not a real phone, Kiana. It's not a real phone. Oh, that was funny to me. She was like, don't be a fan, then come to dinner like an op. Robyn is like, I invited you, honey. I invited you here. She's like, yes, but don't ask me to collab with you because I will on you. Oh my God, this is too much. Why do we need all that? Why? We getting real heated over this Instagram. What is happening? Like, what is the real tension? Like the social media stuff is petty. In this day and age, it's hard not to take it personal. I understand. But baby girl, shout out to B Simone. Who cares? Robyn is not going to stop your bag or your shine. Like it's giving in maturity. Like it's no need to be upset that she's unfollowing you. But what I can understand in regards to what you're feeling is, okay, girl, you don't unfollow me, but you want me to sit up here and collab and be a part of your what? Girl, no, it don't work like that. So I understand on that. Like I understand both sides. And Crystal said, I'm glad you brought that up, because when I unfollowed you, I always thought you were bomb. Girl, what? Anyway, honey, get to it. So Robyn said, that was so disrespectful. Mad at me over an unfollow on Instagram? Like that's petty. It's social media, honey. It's not that serious. So for whatever reason, Crystal gets up and goes over to Robyn. So she stands up and she's like, I'm not mad at Kiana. I'm not mad at Kira, because she's trying to de-escalate the situation, okay? She's like, I'm just asking you for some grace. So Crystal is like, no. And Robyn said, Crystal, mind your business right now. Stop. I'm convinced Crystal likes the girls to be mad at Robyn. Like, why are you over there? Why did you get up and go over there? Kira, don't be so quick to only point out Robyn. Crystal was about to give you some BS excuse as well, and she ain't fooling me. She's like, you were rude as heck to Kira. Ma'am, Kira was rude as heck to her as well. Like, don't try to take the heat off of you. Okay, because that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get up and sashay over there. And I didn't hear you not one time have your BFFs back. Because Kira said she was going on her first. Like, we just got to be real here. So if you're my best friend, honey, but like I told y'all last review, child, episode 1, frenemies. And that's that on that. Moving forward. So then Robyn was like, she said she was on me. Did you stand up to say anything to her? Go sit down. Go sit down in your green chair. Child, not specifics in the specific color of the chair. Child, you can tell she a realtor, honey. They will describe something down. Do you hear me? Ooh, honey, not the green chair. So Crystal and her Tina Turner legs, baby, they say right on down. Have several seats. I am jealous of those legs, though. I ain't gonna lie to you, honey. They are everything. Come on, features. Moving forward. So Tiffany is like, well, I want you to stay. Like, please just stay. So Kiana said, there's something more with these BFFs, and I'm not really sure. Honey, they got some things they need to work out. So Kiana said, I didn't want it to go there. So Robyn is trying to speak her speech, and Kira's eating these appetizers, child. And she piping up. Meanwhile, over on the other side, Robyn is like, Crystal, don't tell me to stop. Sit back. So Robyn said Crystal was pretending to put out the fire, but the whole time she was throwing a little gasoline on it. And was, honey. And if you don't agree, rewatch the episode so you can get the real, honey, because I saw it. I saw it last episode, y'all, so this ain't nothing new to me. So Kiana is still upset, but she's like, I have enough respect for you to talk to you about this later. She's like, I'm sorry. Like, how many times do I have to say I'm sorry? You have to say it until it's genuine. And y'all have to talk about this. Because really and truly, it's just business. Really and truly, it's just Instagram. Child, this ain't no real fights, honey. This is some petty bullshit. She's like, I don't have the mental space for this. So Crystal is like, Rob, stop. Just stop it. You're triggered. She said, stop saying that to me. That is not the first time you said that to me. So child, she keeps on. You're triggered. You're triggered, Robyn. You're triggered. So Robyn gets up because she does not like the word triggered. I'm triggered hearing the word triggered. She just sat down here in front of all of you, okay, and was vulnerable and expressed that she was having problems with her mental state. If you know that that's an issue for her, why do you continually say you're triggered? You know why? Because you want to demonstrate to everybody on the slick how Robyn can be. It's giving sabotage when she brings you all the clients that she can bring you. Like, I'm just not feeling Crystal. Like, Crystal is like, I've never seen Rob so upset that she couldn't be calmed by my words. How is interrupting her, taking everyone's side but hers, and saying triggered over and over again supposed to calm her? Girl, get real. Crystal is not a friend. She's an antagonist in disguise, and she is not fooling me. Robyn, but on to you. Let me get you together real quick. You cannot put your hands on people, triggered or not. Keep your hands in your lap. Okay, because I would have popped that finger. Pop. Baby, it would have been all fool. Okay, everybody you can't do that with. Crystal sitting up there starting mess, but at the same time, she's putting up with you. You don't do that. You don't put your hands on people. It's giving abusive. Okay, that's the second time you threatened to throw something in her face last episode. Now you're getting in her face, slapping her hand down. If she says you're triggered and you don't agree, get up and walk away. Don't put your hands on nobody. That's crazy. Like, you have to learn to control your emotions. Kira, Please, I understand that you're upset about the Instagram unfollowing. You tried to say, I'm not really, I'm cool. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I'm not upset, but you are upset, and it's okay to acknowledge that. Sit down with Robyn, talk to her one-on-one. Kiana, talk to Robyn one-on-one so you can figure out what's the real deal and why did she really want you to just get her a quick $13,000 when we know that was nothing but a drop in the bucket for you. Okay, y'all? And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Y'all don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.